we should talk about this. People might misunderstand what we're trying to say,
It's Monday night. It's good to be with you. Here we go. Let's talk about eucalyptus. Let's talk about eucalyptus. You and me. Let's talk about all the good things and the bad things that may be.
There's no bad things.
Let's talk about eucalyptus. Let's talk about eucalyptus. Let's talk about eucalyptus. Let's talk about eucalyptus. Oh, okay. I think that's enough. Hey, it's Monday night, and that means that it's time for Let's Talk About
Eucalyptus.
Eucalyptus. Now, just a quick introduction. So, we're here every Monday night, aren't we?
I think in probably the last year and a half, we've missed 2 Monday nights.
We have.
And that's been because we've been overseas on an aeroplane somewhere.
Exactly. So, the whole purpose of Let's Talk About, and before that it was called Kim's Top 5, is what? Why are we here?
To share some information about some of the Young Living products that we love, and we hope that you'll love when we tell you about them.
Yeah, so there's a heap of products there, so this is really a chance to get some extra information. I'm always the newbie here. Kim's got a few clues about this stuff, so I bow to her superior wisdom and knowledge of these things. But we do want you to get to know these amazing products and the oils and the supplements and all that stuff. So that's why we're here every Monday night. We love the fact that you join us. We want to have a little bit of fun along the way. So tonight we're talking eucalypts. And if there's ever something that Australians love, it's our gum trees.
It is. We have a lot of eucalyptus plants. In Australia, actually 75% of all of the vegetation in Australia is eucalypt.
Wow. And not only that, but we've shipped them all over the world, haven't we?
We have. Over, we've shipped them to Ecuador, we've shipped them to China, Brazil. Basically all around the world now grows eucalyptus, and most of it originated here in Australia. There's around 900 different species or hybrids of eucalyptus growing throughout the world.
Sorry, I'm just trying to find something.
So eucalyptus actually means oblique because of... Have you got a leaf?
I just happen to have some eucalyptus leaves here, right here.
It's because at the bottom of it, it's actually unequal in length, and so
that's
where it gets the name from, because it's actually unequal in length at the base.
Yeah.
Did you know that?
That's weird. I did not know that. No.
Yeah.
There's a eucalyptus.
So they're not like identical. They're actually unequal, and that gives the name to. It means oblique, and that's where you get the eucalyptus from. So. Just so you know that. We're going to talk about 3 different kinds of eucalyptus, and they're the 3 that Young Living sell. Young Living actually have some others in blends, but the 3 single oils that they sell is what we're going to talk about. So we're going to talk about Eucalyptus Radiata, Eucalyptus Globulous, and Eucalyptus Blue.
Which technically...
is Eucalyptus bicostata.
Bicostata. Okay, can I just do something? I've always wanted to do this. Hold on, wait for it. Oh no, it's an ad. Oh, I hate that. Oh, that's embarrassing. Keep going.
What am I gonna...
What are you chewing?
Coconut crisps from Red Rock Deli.
Here we go.
Lucky we live in the bush.
Yeah.
We have readily access to eucalyptus.
We have eucalyptus, and we even have Skippy the bush kangaroo.
We have so many Skippies at our house. Like last night, we drove home, and I think we got home
ran
from the
over
Gold Coast about 10:30 at night, and I think it was like 10.
Yeah, we almost ran over one. One was determined to get run over.
Every kilometre along our road, it was like another... Yeah.
Anyway, that's
Skippy.
because I always wanted to do that thing with her.
So anyway,
sorry,
we're waffling on a bit, and we never do that, but here we are waffling.
So there's 3 different types of eucalyptus that we're going to talk about that Young Living sells: Eucalyptus Globulous, Eucalyptus Radiata, and Eucalyptus whatever the other one was.
Blue. Yeah. Okay, so I'm going to talk about Eucalyptus Globulous first. Even though a lot of you probably think Eucalyptus Globulous is new to Young Living here in Australia because they've just re-released it. When I first started with Young Living, they actually had far more eucalyptus here in Australia than any other country.
Yeah.
We had Eucalyptus Dives, we had Eucalyptus polybrachia, and we had Eucalyptus Globulus. So they've actually just re-released Eucalyptus Globulus.
Yeah.
It is the highest in 1/8 cineol, okay? So when you smell
Is that eucalyptol?
eucalyptol, yeah. When you smell eucalyptus, that distinctive smell that you can smell in all eucalyptus is called 1/8 cineol. That's the proper, constituent, chemical name for it.
Yeah.
But we call it eucalyptol. You'll also smell eucalyptol in rosemary. If you get rosemary close enough to your nose when you first inhale it, you'll actually smell the eucalyptol and you'll think, hang on a sec, they've put eucalyptus in the rosemary bottle. They've put the wrong label on it. But if you smell rosemary down low and start to bring it up to your nose, you'll get that rosemary smell down low and eucalyptus, because the eucalyptol, the 1/8 cineol, is the lightest molecule in the bottle.
Yeah.
And that's the thing that we smell.
It's a monoterpene, isn't it?
Yeah, that's the thing that we smell the most in Eucalyptus globulus because it's the highest, okay?
Yeah.
And it's the thing that most people react to. If you're, have a allergic reaction, if you, react really strongly to eucalyptus, then it's most likely to the 1/8 cineol that's actually in it. Some essential oil companies, they actually fractionate or adulterate eucalyptus essential oil, and they take the 1/8 cineol out, or they do a refraction type process and to make it not so strong. So but by doing that, it's also not as healing. And
that's where the magic is
in that 1/8 cineol. So it's great for massage, great for breathing. If you breathe, you want some eucalyptus, regardless of which one. So now, originally, obviously, Eucalyptus globulus, we do grow it here in Australia, but the Eucalyptus globulus that Young Living source, they grow it in China.
Is that right?
Yeah, it is the one that the other week we talked about adding it to honey and, in terms of eucalyptus and honey drops. Eucalyptus globulus is the one that is used for that.
You also used to find it in a chest rub that we no longer use.
Yes, it is. Yeah. It has been used.
Not in a chest rub.
No, but it probably smells most like
it does. A commercial chest rub that had petrol in it.
Petroleum jelly.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's Eucalyptus globulus, right? It, as I say, is highest in 1/8 cineol. So probably when it comes to using it on, all eucalyptuses, I generally suggest not using them on under 2s because they can have a respiratory reaction to using them. But in general, my preferred eucalyptus for children is Radiata. But I wouldn't use it on the face. Like Robert Tisserand, who's a leading aromatherapist in the world, actually suggests not using it around the face for 10, until you're over 10. I mean, generally you're not going to use eucalyptus on the face. If you are adding it to a chest rub, for me, it's over 2s. Robert Tisserand errs on the side of caution, and he says over 3s. I am an aromatherapist, and generally when I learned aromatherapy, we said over 2s. So that, if you want to be overly cautious, wait till your child's over 3, but as a general rule, over 2s. Eucalyptus Radiata is the next essential oil. It has the next amount of 1/8 cineol in it. It's probably the most eucalyptoly kind of smelling one. Most people seem to like that the most. I don't know.
It's got a sweeter.
Yeah, it's definitely more citrusy and sweet than globulus.
So it's got a similar amount of.
Well, slightly less 1/8 cineol.
Okay.
The highest amount of 1/8 cineol is in the Eucalyptus globulus, and then this one. This one is more citrusy. It is not one that it can't people don't use it to add to honey and eucalyptus drops because it's not generally one that we would include in food.
Okay, all right.
Okay. It's the one that's in thieves. So when you hear us say that thieves is cinnamon, rosemary, clove, eucalyptus and lemon, the eucalyptus that's in thieves is Eucalyptus Radiata.
That's
okay.
nice. I like it.
All right, so that's
So what would we use that for?
So once again, if you breathe, you're breathing and you want to breathe continuously through winter, then get some of this. But it's also good to rub into muscles. A lot of the eucalyptuses are in Ortho Sport, Ortho Ease, the massage oils that Young Living sells. So it's all the eucalyptuses are also in Breathe Again and RC.
Do you want to know a bit of trivia? I should have mentioned this earlier. Eucalyptus globulus is the tallest flowering plant in the world.
Well, and
They've had them up to 101 meters.
The thing about Eucalyptus radiata is that they actually call that, I think it's called thin leaf peppermint is a common name to it because it's those thin leaves that Jeremy was hanging up. Whereas globulus, if you think of globe, like the world is a globe, the leaves of Eucalyptus globulus are round, okay? Like a globe. They're the ones that you usually see in bouquets of native flowers. You know that beautiful sort of stems, that you get of gum leaf that isn't, of eucalyptus that is included, and they're sort of round. That's usually Eucalyptus globulus, whereas Eucalyptus radiata are those skippy leaves that you were, blowing on before. So that's sort of, I guess, the difference, if you like, in the shape of the leaves.
Okay, so that's globulus, that's radiata. What's the third one?
The third one that Young Living sells at the moment is Eucalyptus Blue. Now, Eucalyptus Blue is actually, if you like, it's been genetically modified, but not like in the way that we think of bad genetically modified. It's just over time, Eucalyptus citriodora and Eucalyptus globulus have had a bit of a party together, and they made Eucalyptus biocastata, and that is Eucalyptus Blue. So in a way, Eucalyptus globulus is also here in Australia called blue gum, so don't get it confused, whereas Eucalyptus Blue is a different species. And so it's kind of a hybrid, if you like, of Eucalyptus citriodora, which is your sort of lemon eucalyptus, and your Eucalyptus globulus. So it's
just to confuse things, the correct botanical name for that is Eucalyptus globulus biocastata. So it's a subspecies, but
not everybody actually agrees on that.
No.
If you do a little bit of research, you'll find that some people believe that it is a subspecies of Eucalyptus globulus. Other people say it's a totally different species and Eucalyptus biocastata. But the general thing is that it happened as a result of Eucalyptus citriodora and Eucalyptus globulus. So that's what made Eucalyptus Blue. So it is a standalone tree. It's not like Young Living gets a bit of Eucalyptus globulus and a bit of citriodora and mixes it up like a blend. It's a standalone tree that they harvest the leaves from.
From?
Ecuador. So when we go to Ecuador in November, we will be able to see Eucalyptus Blue growing there. It's more herby and spicy and stuff.
So apart from Steve Irwin and probably maybe John Farnham, no, not so much Steve Irwin, eucalyptus trees are actually one of Australia's greatest exports over time. And when I say exports, I mean Australians took them to the Californian gold rush. So if you go to California, you'll find them there. South Africa,
seen them even in Egypt. Like you can
Middle East.
I have travelled the world, as some of you know, and I've seen eucalyptus trees growing in the most amazing places around the world, and it's just that even the Australian government actually gifts eucalyptus trees, and over time they've just grown in other countries, and it's kind of something that some other countries actually claim as their own. And I mean, it's not that they're
I think there's maybe 4 species that are native to outside Australia, but we have about 700 that are native to Australia here.
Well, and there's actually only less than 20 that you can that they harvest for eucalyptus oil. oil. The other species don't have as much oil to actually harvest. So, and they don't have that strong amount of 1/8 cineol, so they don't have the healing type benefits.
So we sort of take them for granted in Australia, don't we, really?
Well, and we have really, really high quality as eucalyptus oil, whereas if you travel to other parts of the world, their eucalyptus oil is nowhere near as good quality as ours here in Australia. It's all been adulterated. As I say, like they take out a lot of the 1/8 cineol and do crazy things, whereas, you know, here in Australia we know what good eucalyptus oil is. Great for cleaning. You know, it's amazing to clean things, toilets, showers, spray down benches, great in the diffuser, great in chest rubs, get sticky stuff off stuff. You know, it's an amazing essential oil. So anyway, that's eucalyptus. Hopefully you've learned a little bit more. Let us know. Some of you have already told us what your favourite eucalyptus is. Which one's yours?
Well, I would have said globulus, but I don't think I've ever had a really good smell of radiata, and that's just got such an interesting, sweet smell. It's so different.
Well, and this month you can actually get Eucalyptus Radiata for free with 190 PV order on, just by doing 190 PV order, you can get Eucalyptus Radiata for free. It is definitely one of those ones that you want to have during the winter months because you can add it to your chest rub, diffuse it, all of those kinds of things. Those two,
Muscle
Eucalyptus Radiata and Eucalyptus Globulous, both come in a 15ml, and Eucalyptus Blue comes in a 5ml. So anyway,
awesome.
Thanks everyone for joining us.
If there's anything else that you'd like to know about, I find I'm learning stuff every week. It's awesome. So thank you for that. Any questions that you have, any topics that you think we should cover, put them down in the comments below, and we'll certainly seriously consider that. We love to find out the stuff. We'll see you next. Will we see you next Monday night?
Well, next Monday night we're going to be in Hawaii.
We'll be in Hawaii.
We have another Young Living trip where we're going to Hawaii and Disneyland and Utah.
I think we're 4 hours ahead, so maybe we'll stay up late.
Okay. We will work on doing a topic for you next week. All right. Thanks, guys.
We'll see you guys next time.
Bye.